Before I even forget, I've been getting caught up in the playoffs, but if you could drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new, it just really helps out how the video goes, so that would be much appreciated. Yeah, I think we can call this game. Currently halftime, the Heat are down by 27 points. The Bucks are shooting the lights out of the ball. It's over. It's done. Hey Siri, how do you say blowout in Greek?
I can't translate into Greek yet.
Thanks, Siri. Well, yeah, okay, so it's a blowout in Greek or in French or in any language you want to speak. This is a wrap. The game is over. The Miami Heat are getting blown out by the Milwaukee Bucks, who have currently shot 15 out of 29 from three in the first half. They hit 10 three-pointers in one quarter, the quarter that I happened to miss. So, yes, but I have seen the clips. I have seen enough of the quarter. Is there much to really say about that quarter? They were down by 26 points. There wasn't much defense being played. Bryn Forbes went on a masterclass. Bryn Forbes acts like the Miami Heat owed him money or something. He had a problem with the Heat because he was shooting lights out, and, they were just leaving him pretty much wide open because they were doubling inside. They were trying to pressure the ball handler a lot and force turnovers, and it was just resulting in a lot of open three-point shots, which carried into the second quarter as well, in which the Bucks, only hit 5 threes, which is as many threes as they hit in the entirety of the last game. So some people are saying this is an anomaly. Yes, 15 out of 29 and a half is an anomaly, but also what was an anomaly was when the Bucks won last game and they only hit 5 out of 31 at 16%, as opposed to the Heat hitting 23s and Duncan Robinson hitting more than all of Milwaukee's team combined. So I'm not going out here and saying the Bucks are going to sweep the Heat, because we've seen enough to know that let's not just call it yet. But I think it's safe to say the Bucks look like they're going to win this series. It looks like they're going to wrap it up because they just look too good. It's that simple. The Heat, yeah, you can have your nice culture and everything, and you got to respect the Heat because they're always competitive. Well, this game, not exactly, but generally they're always competitive. They're always going to fight. Like last game, we see it all the time, but the team just isn't anywhere near as good as Milwaukee's. You've got Dwayne Dedmon playing 15 minutes. You've got Trevor Ariza playing 38 minutes last night. You've got Kendrick Nunn, all of these guys. Like, they're okay, but you compare it to Milwaukee and Jrue Holiday and Chris Middleton and Giannis and PJ Tucker, even Bobby Portis coming off the bench, only playing, 20 minutes or something. I haven't kept track of their minutes, but you just know for a fact they've got more contributors. They've got better players now. And the difference is clear with Jrue Holiday. 11 assists at halftime. Jrue Holiday penetrating the defense, kicking it out to open shooters. And this is the difference, and this is the huge difference that we knew Holiday was going to bring. Defensively, yes, he's a difference maker, but offensively, it wasn't talked about enough. They had Eric Bledsoe last year. Eric Bledsoe is terrible, and he's even worse than terrible in the playoffs. He's unbelievably bad. Like, he sucks in the playoffs. Sorry, Eric. Well, he sucks. Okay, let's just be honest. So, he's bad in the playoffs. And what this does is more than just Giannis. Everyone was talking about how Jrue Holiday can unlock Giannis or just help out Giannis. I was thinking about Chris Middleton the whole time, because last year in the playoffs, he was the only perimeter guy that could create for himself or for others. There was a few shooters around, and obviously Giannis can do a little bit of creation, but he's not a perimeter guy. But Middleton was the only guy who could create his own shot or create for others, and all of a sudden there was a pressure on him that he's not the guy for that. He's a fantastic player, in my opinion, underrated player, but he's not a guy that should be going out there and having to face different perimeter defenders every single possession, having to face so much pressure, having to create his own shot all the time, because one of the strengths of Middleton is his ability to move off the ball and shoot off the catch. That's one of his strengths, and we're seeing it with Jrue Holiday now penetrating and kicking it out to Middleton. And when Middleton wants to create for himself or needs to, we saw it last game. He hit the game winner. We've seen it this game. He hit a step back three. He hits step back threes. He'll hit you with the mid range. He'll take you off the dribble. He's taken Duncan Robinson off the dribble a couple of times because he realizes that's a mismatch. And that's a mismatch that you're not getting last year when you had Eric Bledsoe and when you had those guys that you didn't even have to worry about. You can throw every single good defender you have at Chris Middleton. Now all of a sudden, Every now and then you're going to get Robinson switched onto him, and it's just a wrap. He's too small, he's not good enough defensively, and Middleton's just going to take him to school. He's having good games, more efficient games, and it's because he's not asked to do absolutely everything. But when he needs to do something, he can still throw it upstairs to Giannis, and that's another difference when you've got these guys who are creating on the perimeter, and when your team is firing from beyond the arc, and you've got some guys that you genuinely have to be concerned about pulling up, like a Holiday, like a Middleton, obviously Forbes when he's hot, a DiVincenzo when he's hot, but those guys in particular, Middleton and Holiday, all of a sudden Giannis slipped backdoor a couple of times because the Heat was so concerned about the three-point line. Their eyes were all fixated on the three-point line. Giannis is like, I'm 7'7". I'll just slip backdoor and put that lob in if you guys don't mind, so I'll do that. In terms of the Heat's perspective, it's rough. It's rough. I mean, Tyler Hero at this point, I was high on him. I thought he was going to improve this season. I thought he was someone who had a huge bubble in his first playoffs. He stepped up to the moment pretty much every single occasion. Someone who can create his own shot. You don't need to hear everything about Hero, but he's been bad. He's been really bad. Defensively, he's never been great. He's always been below average. And then offensively, if it's not happening, what are you going to do? And again, the difference between having Middleton and Holiday and guys that can all shoot the ball with Giannis and all of these guys, now all of a sudden, there's just nowhere for anyone to hide defensively. So if you're not providing a huge boost offensively, or if you're not at least passable defensively, you've got to get off the court against these guys because they're going to expose you. And Holiday did that. Middleton did that. They did it to Duncan Robinson. They're going to continue doing it to any Heat defender that isn't up to the task. And then on the other end of the floor, it's not like those guys are slouches defensively. We've seen Holiday be an elite defender his entire career. We saw him make plays defensively at the end of last game where you were like, that's the Jrue Holiday that's going to make an impact defensively as well. He got 2 steals that led to fast break points in the last game, played some great defense, has continued that into next game where he's just been running the show offensively. He's in control of the entire offense. Giannis, again, he's been great. Giannis has been good as well. And we need to give Giannis his credit as well because he'll get slandered when he has a bad game, and then we kind of just put it under the rug when he has a great game. And right now he's having a really good game on both ends of the floor, and he's just dominating inside. He's not trying too much fancy. He doesn't need to, because right now there's enough going on at the perimeter where Giannis can just do his own game. He can take Jimmy Butler inside, body him, put in a little hook. He can just crash the boards. He can go upstairs. That's all he's doing, just moving off the ball, taking it inside, scoring right near the rim. That's all he needs to do, because right now everyone else has the three-point line covered. And the Heat, just going forward, again, I think they'll win 1, maybe 2 is probably a stretch. I think they'll get 1 game out of this series the way it's going, because Jimmy might have a big game. Bam Adebayo has been disappointing. He's been disappointing. I don't know if he'll end up with a decent stat line tonight, but he's just been bad because last game, again, not bad, but he's just timid. This isn't the Bam that we've seen in the regular season. Bam had improved his jump shot. He's improved his handle. He's improved everything that he had last year. And last year, he was the Heat's best player up until the finals, up until he got injured. He was the Heat's overall best player in the playoffs, particularly against the Celtics Eastern Conference Finals. Against the Bucks, he had some good games as well. He was taking players off the dribble. He was having 30-point games. He was hitting mid-range shots. He was getting to the free throw line consistently. Now, all of a sudden, he looks like a bit of a shell. He looks like he doesn't even want to look at the basket. He doesn't even want to look at the basket. He gets the ball, straight away he's looking for a handoff. They're giving him that shot if he wants it. And that could be a difference maker if he started taking that and making that, which he's done all regular season. So I don't understand why they're not at least trying to push that onto him. Just at least take a few of those shots if you continue to be cold from there. Because I know in the first game, he was a little bit cold. He took a few middies and it wasn't falling. But at least try and establish some kind of mid-range game, because that's what you've done all year, and that's the improvement you've made. And then all of a sudden, the space for the shooters is going to open up even more because the guys are going to press up. There's just going to be more opportunities if Bam starts at least looking at the rim. Jimmy Butler said he was locked in, not exactly seeing it. He's not been fantastic either. I mean, the Heat team in general, Duncan Robinson's made some threes, Kendrick none, Goran Dragic was good last game, and that's kind of it. There's not too many positives to take out of this game for the Heat. There's not too many positives in general. And like I mentioned, on paper, the Bucks are a far superior team. That doesn't always work, though, in the NBA. You can't always just say, oh, they've got better players, they're automatically going to be better, because we know, like last year, the Heat have players that can defend Giannis, they have a system that can work against Giannis, but it doesn't seem to be working as well this time around because there's guys on the perimeter that can create, and all of a sudden, once you worry about those guys too much, Giannis starts to slip into the equation, and Giannis starts to catch everything backdoor or starts to dominate inside. Ultimately, that's what I'm seeing from this series and this game in particular. Is it going to be a blowout every game? No, I don't believe so. But it's not looking promising for the Miami Heat. And the Bucks just look like they're too good. It's that simple. My camera's dead. Have a good day. Catch you next time. Bye.